Imagine walking home at midnight, alone, through a city you've never been to before. No anxiety, no second guessing, just the quiet hum of streetlights and the sound of your own footsteps. That feeling? Most people only dream about it. But for millions of people around the world, that's just Tuesday. We live in a world where safety feels like a luxury, where checking over your shoulder has become second nature. But what if it didn't have to be? What if a city could actually make you feel protected? What if infrastructure, culture, and governance came together so perfectly that fear simply didn't live there? Today, we're finding out exactly where that is. Welcome to WanderList, and today we're counting down the top 10 safest cities in the world. Number 10, Melbourne, Australia. We start our journey in the Southern Hemisphere, in a city that has consistently ranked among the world's most livable and safest for over a decade. Melbourne, Australia. This is a city where the coffee culture is practically a religion, where street art lines the laneways, and where public safety is woven into the very fabric of daily life. Melbourne regularly scores high on the Global Peace Index thanks to its well-funded police force, low violent crime rates, and a deeply community-oriented culture. What makes Melbourne particularly impressive is the sense of civic pride here. People look out for each other. Neighborhoods feel genuinely connected. The public transport system is extensive, well-lit, and monitored, meaning getting home late at night doesn't carry the fear it might in other major cities of its size. Australia has its challenges, no doubt, but Melbourne has managed to balance the energy of a fast-growing metropolis with a safety standard that would make most cities envious. For solo travelers, expats, and families alike, Melbourne is a city that wraps you in a quiet confidence the moment you arrive. Number 9, Amsterdam, Netherlands. Cycling through lamplit canals at dusk, locals chatting outside brown cafes, tourists and residents sharing cobblestone streets without tension. Welcome to Amsterdam, a city that looks like it was designed by a storyteller and governed by a pragmatist. The Netherlands has long maintained one of the most progressive and effective public safety models in the world. Amsterdam benefits from extremely low rates of violent crime, a culture of transparency in law enforcement, and an urban design philosophy that naturally discourages dangerous behavior. Wide cycling lanes, open public spaces, and strong social welfare systems mean fewer people fall through the cracks. And fewer cracks mean a safer city for everyone. Tourists come here by the millions, and yet Amsterdam has managed to maintain an almost village-like sense of community safety, especially outside the tourist-heavy center. The Dutch philosophy of gedogbeleid, a tolerance-based governance approach, has helped reduce criminality in ways that more punitive systems simply haven't. Amsterdam isn't just a beautiful city. It's proof that thoughtful policy and cultural openness can produce extraordinary safety outcomes. Number 8, Zurich, Switzerland. Switzerland is in many ways a country that runs like clockwork, and nowhere is that more evident than in its largest city, Zurich. Zurich is consistently ranked among the top 5 safest cities on the planet, and once you spend time here, it's not hard to understand why. This is a place where trains arrive to the second, where streets are immaculate, and where personal safety feels almost like a baseline expectation, not a privilege. Crime rates in Zurich are strikingly low across every category. The city invests heavily in social programs, mental health infrastructure, and community policing that prioritizes de-escalation over confrontation. The Swiss model of governance, decentralized, transparent, and accountable, creates a civic environment where institutions are trusted, and that trust flows both ways. What's fascinating about Zurich is that safety here doesn't feel enforced. It doesn't feel like surveillance or control. It feels earned, the natural byproduct of a society that has decided collectively to take care of itself. Whether you're a resident or just passing through on a layover, Zurich has a way of making you feel like the world is, in fact, going to be okay. Number 7, Copenhagen, Denmark. Denmark is regularly voted the happiest country in the world, and its capital, Copenhagen, might just be the physical embodiment of that happiness. But beyond the hygge, that untranslatable Danish concept of warmth and contentment, Copenhagen is a deeply structurally safe city. Crime rates are low. Corruption is almost non-existent. The relationship between law enforcement and the public is one of the healthiest you'll find anywhere in the world. What strikes visitors most about Copenhagen is how free people feel. Children ride public transit alone. Women run alone through parks at night. Elderly residents move through the city without fear. This isn't naivety. It's the result of generations of investment in equality, education, and social cohesion. Copenhagen also benefits from being highly walkable and well-designed, with public spaces that encourage community interaction rather than isolation. When people feel seen and connected to their city, antisocial behavior naturally decreases. Copenhagen has understood this for decades, and the results speak for themselves. Number 6. Singapore. Let's shift to Southeast Asia, to a city-state that has engineered safety in a way that is genuinely unlike anywhere else on Earth. Singapore. This is a place where chewing gum is regulated, where littering can result in serious fines, and where the rule of law is applied with an almost surgical precision. Now, that level of governance is not without its critics, but the results, in terms of public safety, are undeniable. Singapore consistently ranks as one of the safest cities in Asia and the world. Violent crime is extraordinarily rare. Corruption within public institutions is almost zero. The streets are clean, the transport is flawless, and the rule of law is applied consistently, regardless of social standing. What's remarkable about Singapore is how it has managed to maintain safety in a densely packed, multicultural metropolis of nearly 6 million people. There are over 70 ethnic communities here. Multiple languages are spoken daily, and yet the social fabric holds, tightly, firmly, held together by a shared respect for civic responsibility. Singapore may not be for everyone, but as a case study in how a city can prioritize the safety and well-being of its citizens above almost everything else, it is absolutely extraordinary. Number 5. Vienna, Austria. And now we arrive in a city that feels like it was built to be eternal. Vienna, Austria. The former seat of the Habsburg Empire, the birthplace of Beethoven, Mozart, and Freud. A city of grand boulevards, imperial palaces, and coffee houses where intellectuals have debated ideas for centuries. But Vienna is not just a museum of history. It is a thriving, modern, deeply safe city that has topped the Economist Intelligence Unit's Most Livable City Index multiple years running, a ranking where safety is one of the most heavily weighted factors. Vienna's safety is built on a foundation of exceptional public services. Healthcare is world-class and accessible. Housing is stable. The city runs one of the most successful social housing programs in the world, which dramatically reduces inequality and, by extension, crime. Public transport operates 24 hours on weekends. Police presence is visible, professional, and non-threatening. Walking through Vienna, whether it's the historic First District or the vibrant neighborhoods of Neubau and Mariahilf, you feel a sense of ease that's difficult to describe. It's a city that takes care of people, all of its people, and it shows in every corner. Number 4. Wellington, New Zealand. Halfway around the world, sitting at the southern tip of New Zealand's North Island, is a city that often flies under the radar, yet consistently outperforms its more famous counterparts in nearly every safety metric. Wellington. Yes, it's small. Yes, it's windy, extraordinarily, famously windy. But Wellington punches far above its weight when it comes to safety, civic pride, and the overall quality of life it offers its residents and visitors. New Zealand as a whole ranks in the top 5 on the Global Peace Index, and Wellington, as its capital, reflects that peacefulness in a very tangible way. The city is compact and walkable, with a vibrant arts and cafe scene, low violent crime, and a government that is transparent and highly responsive to its citizens. The Maori concept of manakitanga, the practice of showing respect, generosity, and care for others, is embedded in New Zealand culture in a way that genuinely shapes how communities interact. Wellington may not have the glamour of Sydney or Tokyo, but if you're searching for a city where you can breathe easily, move freely, and live without fear, Wellington might quietly be one of the best places in the world. Number 3. Abu Dhabi, UAE. Most people think of Dubai when they think of the UAE, but it is Abu Dhabi, the capital, that consistently claims its place among the absolute safest cities in the world. Abu Dhabi's safety statistics are staggering. It ranks first in numerous global safety indexes, with violent crime rates that are almost impossible to believe for a city of its size and wealth. Expats from over 200 nationalities call this city home, and the vast majority describe feeling safer here than anywhere else they have ever lived. How does Abu Dhabi do it? A combination of factors. There is strong, centralized governance with zero tolerance for corruption. There is a comprehensive CCTV network covering the city. There are strict laws that are enforced consistently. And there is a cultural emphasis on hospitality and respect. The concept of diafa, the Arabic tradition of welcoming and protecting guests, that creates a social environment where harm to others is genuinely frowned upon at a deep cultural level. Abu Dhabi is also investing massively in its future, in infrastructure, in arts, in education, in sustainability. This is not a city resting on its oil wealth. It is a city actively building the kind of society it wants to be, and safety sits at the absolute core of that vision. Number 2, Tokyo, Japan. We are now in the number 2 spot, and if you've ever been here, you already know why. Tokyo. 37 million people, the largest metropolitan area on Earth, and yet, statistically, experientially, culturally, one of the safest cities that has ever existed. Tokyo's safety is genuinely one of the great wonders of the modern world. People leave wallets on cafe tables and come back to find them untouched. Children as young as 6 years old navigate the subway system alone. Drunk businessmen sleep peacefully on public benches. Lost tourists are not preyed upon, they are helped. The lost and found system in Tokyo is so robust that billions of yen in cash are returned to their owners every single year. How? It comes down to culture, a deeply rooted Japanese sense of collective responsibility. The concept of not wanting to cause trouble or inconvenience others, miwaku, is not just a social nicety. It is a foundational principle. Combined with a highly educated, economically stable population, exceptional infrastructure, and a police force built on community trust, Tokyo has achieved something that urban planners around the world study with a kind of reverent disbelief. Is it perfect? No city is. But Tokyo comes closer to the ideal of safe urban living than almost anywhere on this list, and certainly any city of its size. Number 1, Oslo, Norway. And so we come to number 1. A city of fjords and forests. A city of northern lights and long Arctic summers. A city where the gap between the richest and poorest citizen is among the smallest on Earth. Oslo, Norway. Oslo has claimed the top spot on multiple global safety indexes, and the reasons are as profound as they are instructive. Norway consistently ranks first or second in the Human Development Index. It has one of the most trusted governments in the world. Its prison system is built on rehabilitation, not punishment, and it has the lowest reoffending rates on the planet. Its police force is extensively trained, lightly armed, and deeply embedded in community life. But Oslo's safety isn't just about policy, it's about values. Norwegian society is built on a principle called janteloven, a cultural norm that discourages putting yourself above others, that emphasizes collective well-being over individual excess. It creates a society where no one is too far above and no one is too far below, where people are not desperate enough to harm others, and where those who do cause harm are met not with punishment alone, but with genuine attempts at repair. Walking through Oslo, whether you're in the harbor district of Aker Brygge, the bohemian streets of Grünerløkka, or deep in the forests of Nordmarka just minutes from the city center, you feel something rare, something almost forgotten in our modern world. You feel safe, truly, completely, deeply safe. Not because of cameras on every corner, not because of fear or force, but because an entire society decided that the safety and dignity of every single person who lives within it actually matters. That is what makes Oslo not just the safest city in the world, but perhaps the most inspiring one. Safety is not just an absence of danger. It is the presence of trust, of dignity, of systems and cultures that say, you matter here. Every city on this list has something different to teach us. Whether it's Tokyo's sense of collective responsibility, Singapore's civic discipline, Vienna's commitment to equality, or Oslo's quiet belief in human rehabilitation, there's a lesson in each one. The world has safe places, more than you might think. And maybe, just maybe, the more we talk about them, learn from them, and demand them, the more of them there will be. That's it for today's WanderList. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we post. Drop a comment below. I want to know, which of these cities surprised you most? And which city do you think deserves a spot on this list? Until next time, keep wandering, keep wondering. I'll see you out there.